as it as it relates to the gym floor, what changes are you seeing there? One of the things you mentioned is that you're starting to get a younger demographic in. One of the things I've noticed over here in the US is that a lot of trends that you're seeing on social media are very influenced by the gym and vice versa in terms of the way people work out, the type of exercises that people are doing. There's definitely even outfits that people wear. There seems to be a deep connection. So, are you seeing two things then? One, are you seeing the needs on that gym floor changing as it relates to the people that you got coming in? And if anything, are you or how are you evolving that traditional gym floor space?
Seeing definite changes. And again, I don't think there's anything that is massively different post-pandemic. It's maybe just continued or accelerated a little bit quicker, or maybe it's a little bit more exaggerated. So where if I think back to, Fitness First rebrand 2014, 2015, where it was very much about, right, cardio, traditional cardio was still popular. Classes, of course, were still popular. Free weights were popular and busy, but it wasn't this mass demand. And that was where, for us to get freestyle, which was obviously the rollouts that you talked about, which we started in 2008, 2009, and then continued to iterate and develop. And what it ended up becoming was freestyle, so functional, is either the central point of the club and everything feeds off it, or it was the first thing I would see in it. So depending on the orientation of the club, it would be the first thing I would walk into. I wouldn't walk into rows of kit. It wasn't about a commoditized environment. I would walk into this open space with maybe a rig and kettlebells and TRX and Vipers, and there'd be cardio and free weight, and everything would be connected to it, or it'd be the front part. That has absolutely still got its place, by the way, but to fit that in, we started to take out more isolated pin-loaded machines at the time, because we just these are not getting used. These things are just gathering dust, and cardio is still busy. If you go in at peak time, treadmills are all still busy. So pin-loaded, this isn't getting used. Let's take that out to create the space. What we've now started to see, if I accelerate that all the way forward, is that free weights in any club, by the way, is bursting at the seams. You can't get enough benches in there. You can't get enough dumbbells. You can't get enough squat racks and platforms and cables and whatever else. Pin loaded is starting, funny enough, isolated training, isolated machines starting to get a demand. So we started to bring stuff back in and whatever else. Freestyle.
Just on that, Lee, does that tend to be like movement specific? So like, a glute machine, for example.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. So like glute machines or people trying to find somewhere else to use it, or abductors and adductors. We took all of those out and brought them all back in because everyone's using them in different ways, by the way. Some people standing up on them and whatever else that you see. So that's really interesting. And what we're seeing is the real shit is that all of a sudden now traditional cardio is the one that this isn't full anymore. So even where a club might have had 15, 18, 20 treadmills, we might now be down to say 10 or 12, call it traditional treadmills because we have different versions, but call it your traditional treadmill. And you can go in at a peak time. I'm not even talking a city club, by the way. I might be talking a residential club, which is very busy. The treadmill's not all being used, but the free weights area is heaving. The pin loaded kit's all used. The classes are busy. The freestyle area is still really busy. So that was absolutely the right decision, and that's still built. So it's definitely seen this shift of when people are doing now, call it cardio, assault bikes, ski ergs, rowing machines, and then how do I integrate that with other pieces of kit? We're seeing that as such a shift. So when people are doing cardio now, we're seeing that they're dragging an assault bike over with a kettlebell and they're setting up their own little boot camp style circuit workout rather than what might have been perceived as cardio. I'll go on the treadmill and then maybe the cross trainer and the bike. So definitely started to see this. And because of that, that's where we're continuing to invest, obviously. So the investment that we have done this year, other than opening a couple of new clubs, is how do we extend and enlarge our free weights areas? So that's doing things like we've moved the likes of squat racks and lifting platforms into our freestyle area because it just fits that whole functional movement. I mean, what is functional? There's a different conversation there, but actually able to Olympic lift and squat and deadlift. but that can go in the functional area because it fits. So that then all of a sudden opens up space in your traditional free weights area where you can put more dumbbells, more benches. So yes, we've seen definite shifts, and I expect that to continue. I don't see a change in anytime soon.